Happy 4th of July! Millie Ball here to take you through the week that was on HRTV. Jockey Joe Talamo remembers riding I Want Revenge more than a year ago and looks forward to his comeback in the Suburban.
Does it feel a lot longer than just a little over a year than the last time you rode I Want Revenge?
It really does, you know. Looking back, it was only 09 a year ago, but you know, unfortunately, in this game, when things like that happen, you kind of have to, you know, put it at the bottom and keep moving forward, you know. But he, I mean, to this day, I mean, he's still one of the best horses I've ridden, and just, I mean, right here working in the morning, even in the morning, I mean, he really, to this day, taught me how good horses work. You know, I would just move my hands, and he would go 11 flat, 11 and 1 the last 8. I mean, just an unbelievable turn of foot for a horse like that.
And of course, the drama of the Wood Memorial when he stumbled out of the starting gate. I was watching you work him there. You're so light on him, and I think that helped him in this situation. Take us back through this moment.
Yeah, I still couldn't get over that. I mean, it was just one of them things. I think the horse right next to him kind of spooked a little bit, and he turned his head just slightly enough where it was right when they sprung the latch, he just kind of hesitated a little bit. But I mean, again, you know, when you ride real good horses like that, I mean, they kind of, you just have to point them in the right direction, and that's really what it was. I mean, he just took me through the whole race, and I mean, to this day, that's still one of my most exciting races. It was unbelievable.
Trainer Rick Dutrow was on the phone with his thoughts on I Want Revenge's return to racing.
Richard, the horse worked on the 29th, 4 furlongs, 48 and 3. Were you satisfied with the final prep?
I was happy with him. I've been happy with him every day since he's come to my barn.
I Want Revenge is by Stephen Got Even, stands at Lane's Inn Farm, has been a very good sire. How would you describe I Want Revenge physically and also like his personality?
Physically, he is an unbelievable looking horse. You walk him to the track and people look at him. He catches your attention. He's a very good-looking horse. As far as his mind goes, he's a total racehorse. He's totally into his game. He's a nice enough kind of horse to be around. He's a little bit of a bully sometimes. He'll bite you if he gets a shot, and he'll eat as many mints a day as he possibly can, and that's really the only time you really get a real good chance to pet him, and he'll be nice to you. But he's a classy horse, man. I mean, any kind of horseman or anybody that likes horses has got to like this horse if they get to meet him and be around him. I mean, he's all racehorse.
This week's Lane's End co-feature race was the Grade 2 Suburban Handicap at Belmont.
As they come into the final furlong, it is Haynesfield clear by 3. I Want Revenge is now sputtering on the outside. Regal Ransom and Convocation, and they're coming down to the finish, and Haynesfield wins the 124th Suburban. Convocation gets up for second. I Want Revenge was third.
Haynesfield, Ramon Dominguez coming off recency. That's 4 in a row for Haynesfield, and Ramon riding him with a lot of confidence. And a good run from I Want Revenge. What'd you say, looked dog-tired coming into the stretch?
He's
really
tired.
Did.
He is dog-tired.
Convocation coming on to finish second, but I Want Revenge, everything backfired at the start with Pictorial stumbling a little bit, and things didn't work out perfectly for them. Don't know if it was going to matter. The best horse won this afternoon with Haynesfield getting the job done.
Coinciding with the opening of Saratoga's 2010 meet later this month is the new Bobby Frankel division of Old Friends.
Give us an update on the Bobby Frankel division up in New York. I know you're set for a grand opening on opening day of Saratoga, July 23rd. What's the latest?
On the 22nd, which is the day before Saratoga opens, we're going to have a miniature golf tournament. It's going to be like a parody of other golf tournaments. At least people can play in it, and it only costs $20. And a lot of the jockeys are cooperating, and they've agreed to play in the tournament. So you can play with Calvin Burrell or Kent DeSormo or Richard Migliori is our grand marshal. Richard's going to be our chairman of all the events. And then later that day, We're going to have our official dedication, and a lot of Bobby's family is going to be here. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but Bobby donated all of his trophies to us.
Wow.
Yeah, we're very excited about this. A lot of Bobby's family is going to be here. I met with his cousin Jay Portnoy this morning, and he'll be there. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be a very, very nice ceremony. There's no charge for the dedication. We'll have some food up there and something to drink. The Saratoga Brewery's giving us free beer, and the Saratoga Water Company's giving us free water, and Washington Inn's giving us free accommodations. I mean, the people up here have really embraced this. I went to the bank yesterday. They gave us a $1,000 donation, and they're going to buy 4 tickets to our event on Saturday. So,
Rick Dutrow hopes for a race in honor of Bobby Frankel, along with old friends New York.
Bobby Frankel, you were very close to him. He passed away. Those of us in California, a lot of us miss him. Just what are your feelings about the fact that we don't have him? I'm upset that no track has come up with a Bobby Frankel memorial race. That shocks me. I can't believe somebody somewhere along the line, because this guy deserved it. Just your thoughts on Bobby Frankel.
You know, Louis Lazanero, who's very close friends with me and very close friends with Bobby, he's been jockeying for this for New York for quite a while. They're kind of offering him to give him the race called the Diana 1 year. I don't know if they were too excited about that, but yeah, God, I mean, how can you not name a big race after Bobby? He's one of the best trainers that will ever train a horse and ever has trained a horse. And I certainly have learned an awful lot being around him.
Richard, as far as acting happy goes, you've mentioned how fond you are of this horse. Well, what is her best trait, if you had to say one thing?
The longer they run, the better she'll be.
Wow.
And of course, here again is the influence of Bobby Frankel. He trained the sire, Empire Maker, who won the Belmont Stakes.
I got to tell you that when I got to Philly, I told Bobby, I says, Bobby, I got an Empire Maker that just takes my breath away. And he never got a chance to meet her, but, you know, I told him about her as soon as she came into our barn.
Coming up,
the first thing he did when he got off the trailer was make a beeline for Steve's tizzy and talk a lot of smack and let everybody know there's a new sheriff in town, and it was, he put on quite a show.
Tisdale is a very interesting horse. He's got a lot of little quirks. He's very kind to be around. He's a thinking horse. He thinks about a lot of things. Sometimes when we lead him, he'll step over cracks. He doesn't like to step on thresholds. He'll shorten his stride just to step over something sometimes. In the stall, he's very protective of his stall. He's not overly aggressive. In the paddock, there are times where if it's a little bit cool, he holds a grudge. If he wanted to come in and it was a little cool, he's difficult to catch sometimes, but he's full of personality.
A heart-pounding, pulsating stretch drive, and Tisdale prevails.
Sired by Tisdale, Zermatt came away with a maiden win at Belmont Park.
As Zermatt powers into the stretch. 45-2 is the half mile. Handridden now to the final furlong. Johnny Velasquez looking for competition. None yet for Zermatt. 5 lengths ahead of Sotique, who's now moved in to be third. Coming down to the finish, not a doubt about it at any moment. It's Zermatt, who won by 7 on the wire.
Terence Collier joined Race Day America to discuss the Fasig-Tipton July yearling sale.
The July sale has been around since about 1974 in its current format. It is a selected sale. The yearlings here are nominated in the spring. Their pedigrees are evaluated, and once they get through that stage, they are then inspected by a team of our confirmation guys, and those that survive that are offered for sale. So it is a truly selected sale, and of about 4,000 nominations this year, we've got about 407 yearlings coming up in the July sale in 2 days, in 2 sessions. That's the basis of the sale. The first part, at about 145 yearlings in what we call the Freshman Sire Showcase, which is limited to sires with their first yearlings this year. The rest is for proven stallions and young sires. So that's the basic format.
Over the last 18 months, Fasig-Tipton graduates have produced 28 graded stakes winners, Terrence. How difficult and what is the formula for finding those select horses? And you said there's 4,000 that are nominated. You narrow it down to the 407 that are booked for this sale for 2 days. What are some of the criteria that you look for?
I'm glad you've been seeing our advertisements anyway. You got the number dead right. It's been a great year for the stakes horses out of the sale. I think the proof of the pudding is in the eating. The sale has made a reputation for itself as being a source of athletic horses that can win at every level and are not desperately expensive. I mean, the average of the sale was just shy of $80,000. What we're trying to put out there is an athlete. It's not a horse that is necessarily perfect in conformation. Those are few and far between. But we look at them, we look for balance, we look for quality, we look for athleticism, and those are the things that our inspectors are looking for mainly.
Suburban is the feature in New York. What is the gas mileage for a Suburban?
I don't know. 10 miles?
Maybe. Maybe. Locust Grove, what's the life cycle? How long is the life cycle for a Locust?
3 weeks? I don't know.
How about 17 years, my friend?
No.
Yeah. 4th of July, sparkler or bottle rocket, real quick?
Wherever it's legal. Sparkler.
All right.
Okay.
We'll go sparkler. It's fun for the whole family. It's PG.
Madeleine Urkbach also founded Karma and is preparing for another fundraiser.
Madeleine, one thing I appreciate about you as a breeder so much is the fact that you don't breed irresponsibly. You have taken steps to help ensure positive retirements for horses in our state of California with Karma, the California Retirement Management Account. And you have a big event coming up July 24th down at Del Mar, Poker in Paradise. Tell us more.
Poker in Paradise. Poker in Paradise is going to be our 3rd annual poker tournament fundraiser. And it will be featuring the Karmarita, which is our version of a margarita. So come get a Karmarita. And I'll let everybody guess what's in that. We are also going to have a 1.13 carat cognac diamond. We're going to have an opportunity for people to acquire that diamond.
What is that? What is a cognac diamond?
It is a very, very deep, just think of the color of cognac.
Okay.
That's the color of the diamond. It's an emerald cut. It's absolutely beautiful. And also, if you take that diamond to Prince Jewelers, who are the folks that donate it to us, they will give you a very, very good deal, Lamb will, on putting that, whoops, loose horse, will give you a very, very good deal on putting that diamond in a setting that will knock your eyes out and be reasonably priced.
You think I could pull it off as an earring, maybe? Is it probably too big?
You'd probably be walking around like this, but
cognac diamond. It sounds gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. If you just want to come see the diamond, it's worth it.
Coming up.
Welcome everybody to Churchill Downs on this final Downs After Dark of the spring meet, and it is a Boots, Brew, and Barbecue theme tonight.
I'm going to go all in on my net bird.
That's what I want to hear.
Welcome everybody to Churchill Downs on this final Downs After Dark of the spring meet, and it is a Boots, Brew, and Barbecue theme tonight. And all of you watching out there in simulcast land, I'm sure you're seeing all the excitement, all the activity going on here at Churchill Downs. I'm Jill Byrne, well, your cowgirl for tonight, joined by Pete and outrider Greg Blasey. I originally planned to be on the pony, but we thought for safety reasons, I may be the sheriff in here, but he's the boss. So we're keeping control of all the horses in the paddock.
Downs After Dark came to a close for the spring meet with the wide-open feature, the Roxolana Stakes.
Well, the stakes race tonight, the Roxolana will go, is the 10th race on the program. 7 furlongs on the main track. Your thoughts going in?
Well, I took Tiger's Song on top in there. You know, it says, I don't know if you all were able to see her last race. She only won by a length, but she could have won by about 8 that night. Corey Nakatani, I thought he was going to fall off. He was looking around so much, just literally pulling this filly up, and she just won very impressively. She's on a win streak as she steps up in class, but that race was impressive. And then a filly I really like, I like the price on her on the outside. I've been watching her for a long time, and that Step Out Smartly, I always thought she had the makings of a really good filly, and she loves it here at Churchill Downs. She's going to get a decent pace set up tonight and gets Julian Leparoux aboard. You know, Julian came back yesterday riding and rode promptly 2 winners back-to-back. So, you know, Julian's back. He's in great shape, and this is a nice betting race. And you have my baby returning to the main track, and she's run well on that before, too. She's kind of the class in this race. So we have, as you mentioned earlier, Jeff, just some really good wagering races tonight.
It is on the inside, Vertical Vision, and towards the outside, Kidari. These are the first 2. Be Fair is there in third towards the outside. Here's Irish Witch deep inside the furlong. It's Kidari who's taken the lead. Vertical Vision tries to come back towards the inside. It's Kidari and Sean Bridgman. Kidari now is 3 out of 3 at Churchill Downs.
My Nat Bird returned to the races in the Firecracker with new trainer Dwayne Lucas.
We had a couple of spots picked out, and we had a few options and a plan B, as you might guess, but we wanted to run him on the dirt, and they did have an overnight beaten race that would have fit him beautifully here, but we couldn't get more than 2 horses to enter it, and so when, you know, I think when my colleagues, you know, saw that he was working really well, it, you know, it just probably killed that race. And the other option would have been to go out of town and try something at Belmont Park, maybe, or Monmouth, or even Delaware. But I didn't really want to ship him, Carolyn, so I elected to maybe go to the third option, which would be try him on the grass at a mile, which is probably not ideal, but I think he's doing well enough he won't, you know, he won't embarrass us. He's a lot different horse than he was last year. He is not, and I think in any of his races, dirt, grass, or crushed glass, I don't think it makes any difference anymore. He's going to lay up closer. And I hope that laying up closer, he still has that devastating, you know, late kick like you're talking about. But I don't really look for him to drop that far out of it. And he's going to be a lot sharper than he has. He's a changed horse in a lot of ways.
What are some of those ways, Wayne, that he's changed?
Well, he's put on, you know, last year he was awful light. He's a very small-framed horse anyhow, and he was awful light. He's really filled out. I think if your cameras are on the ball today, you'll see a different horse in the paddock than we've had in the past. And attitude-wise, he's I think a lot more professional, which would maybe come from 2 things: maybe maturity and maybe just, you know, getting into a different program. But he really has gotten into his mornings, and those bullet works that he had were all very easy for him and very, very genuine.
Tis Deja Vu by 3 lengths now. Inca King is in second towards the outside. Public Speaker and Bridal's Dream towards the inside. Here on the outside, Veiled Prophet is staying on. So too is Wise River racing inside the final furlong. Tis Deja Vu running now purely on adrenaline. He needs the line. The outside Public Speaker. Tis Deja Vu to win. Tis Deja Vu, a massive effort, and his 5th win here on the Matwin turf course.
Julian Leparoux also made a comeback to the races after sustaining a back injury in May.
I'm feeling good. I'm perfect, actually, ready to go back to work tomorrow.
Have you been itching to get out of the house and get back to riding?
Yeah, I mean, I've been riding in the morning last week. It's been a week. I do physical therapy, but now I'm ready to ride again in races.
That's good, Julian. And, you know, any twinges, any pain left over that you're kind of working through at this stage?
No, not at all. Everything is good. Perfect.
What's been the biggest challenge through all of this, Julian?
Well, it's just it's tough to see the horse that you're supposed to ride running. But, you know, you got to take it how it is. You know, I got hurt, and it could have been a lot worse. So actually was lucky, and it's only been 6 weeks. It would have been worse, you know. It could have been months, but like I said, I'm lucky, and I'm glad to be back tomorrow.
Lookalike put to pressure. Mine wander up the fence. Never retreat and Secret Kin. Half mile went in 46 and 2, down toward the final furlong. Here's Informed Decision. Informed Decision just in front of Rinterval, who looks to battle Informed Decision for the final 16th, but Informed Decision just edging away from Rinterval, who's not going down without a fight. It's Informed Decision, and her class carries her through in the Chicago Handicap.
John White made an early pick for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile with Cantharos.
Definite single for me, Cantharos. And I think this is a colt that's not only going to win the Bashford Manor, he will go on and have a very successful year. And you heard it from Aaron, where the Breeders' Cup is held this year. A very good chance we might show this video back later this year after Cantharos also wins the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
So wait a minute, I want to be clear here. Are you calling your shot right now?
Right now,
Breeders'
buddy.
Cup Juvenile winner.
This colt, like I say, he reminds me of Silver Bullet Day off that race.
All right.
And I think he won despite the slop, not because of the slop.
Attaboy, Roy. All right.
Cantharos is out in front now by 3 lengths. Lubracy in second on the outside of Speed Demon. To the inside is Gold for Cash. But the further they go, the further Cantharos goes clear. Cantharos may have stumbled at the start, but he is resolute and gallops all the way to the line. Ultimately impressive. Cantharos, maybe he could be destined for the Breeders' Cup back at Churchill Downs.
Coming up,
it will be Franny Freud to win the Prioress by 2 lengths on the wire.
He raced towards the line, twice over in front. He's idling a little bit in the closing stages, but it's a 4th corner clip for Henry Cecil.
Franny Freud, no problem with the turf. She's gonna win decisively. Franny Freud by 6.
Franny Freud looking like an odds-on favorite, should pass the 16th pole. Franny Freud takes the Beaumont for Garrett Gomez.
Franny Freud, and she's opened up here. Franny Freud in front by 7 or 8 lengths. No doubt about the winner. It's Franny Freud.
She's been fantastic. She's trained great throughout the spring so far, and out of each race she's come out very well and continue to move forward. So, we're coming into this very, very good right now.
John, Peter Lurie here, the field of 5, but you draw the outside of the speed. The horse has proven doesn't have to have the lead. Are you looking at one of those play the break? If everybody goes, you can sit?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll leave that up to Garrett and Franny. I mean, she's pretty versatile. She can relax off horses. She can go to lead, whatever. Basically, she feels like doing once they open the gates. Just hopefully everybody gets away clean and everybody gets a fair shot.
Here's Franny Freud, and Franny Freud takes the lead. Franny Freud takes the lead just outside the 8th pole and opens up now a 3-length lead. Champagne Doro, Bonnie Blue Flag, Storm of Prayer, Franny Freud drifting out, but clear as they come down to the wire. Coming to the finish, it will be Franny Freud to win the Prioress by 2 lengths on the wire. Franny Freud, a dazzling victory here.
Twice Over held off the competition, winning this year's Coral Eclipse.
Twice Over is now 2 lengths clear from Daremi in second place. 3 lengths behind now in second place. Viscount Nelson is next. Here's Sri Prucha, the outsider on the outside at the furlong pole. Twice Over continues to be in front. He's about 3 clear. Sri Prucha, the outsider, in second position with Viscount Nelson, but as they race towards the line, Twice Over in front. He's idling a little bit in the closing stages, but it's a 4th corner clip for Henry Cecil. In second place, Sri Prucha, then Viscount Nelson and Daremi.
That's all for this week on HRTV. Here's a look at what's coming up next week.
And Pleasanton. And I don't know how we can begin to describe what we're about to see from the Alameda County Fair. It's a dancing sheep. That's all I can tell you. That's a sheep. And he can flat out shake it.
Or sheep.
Or sheep. Look at that. Shake your money maker.
I think it'll move right there.
Backflip. Yeah. I have no idea what it's for or why, but it's entertaining.